we decided to go on one last run on Skidoo before the summer. Sean and Greg were on one Skidoo. We were following behind. Once we crested the point, we saw them on the ice running and waving. I didn't think we were in that much trouble.
Hi, my name is Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Peter Hamel. In 2005, we were involved in a snowmobile accident.
And this is my story.
I don't know the bogs that well.
Peter Hamel, his wife Jennifer, and friends Sean Broomfield and Greg Finley are back together this afternoon, talking about the rescue from the icy waters of Lake Melville. They were coming across an area called Tarrington Basin, veered off the main trail, and headed for trouble. Both machines went through the ice.
When our Skidoo broke through, it only dropped a foot or two initially. It was still floating underwater. I thought it was sitting on the next layer of ice. And Jennifer got off Skidoo and she got mad, and she started stomping and jumping because she was so mad.
I actually stamped my foot on very thin ice and didn't realize what I was doing.
Yeah. And I told her not to worry. We're just going to have to get it out.
So we started walking to shore, and Pete was ahead of me. And as he was walking, me, stupid-like, instead of taking my own path, I followed directly behind him. And he was breaking through, and I was, at times, not able to touch anything with my feet. The further I was going, the further down I was going, and I ended up falling through with nothing around me to hold on to other than the ice that was in front of me. Nobody could get to me because there was very little for me to hold on to, and if anybody tried to get to me, they would have broken up the little bit of security that I had. I actually lost my boots because the current was pulling my boots off. Then Greg called out to me and he said, "Kick like you're swimming." That phrase right there is what saved my life. I started to kick, and my 2 feet came up behind me, so I managed then to scoot both legs over onto this little bit of ice, and then I was on a pan. Sean, he was stuck, but he was on a harder pack of ice, so he was able to walk around and move around. He was okay, but he didn't want to try and get in, afraid he would be in the same situation that I was in. Greg got into shore, but he ended up losing his boots, so Pete was the only one who had boots on his feet. So he ended up walking with his snowsuit completely bogged down with water. He had to walk 6 kilometers to get help.
During the walk, it was just praying the whole time that Jennifer would hang on. And once I reached eyesight of the town, I began shouting for help, shouting for help, shouting for help. And that's when Tony heard me. He came along eventually on his Skidoo with the rope and picked me up when we went there. So there was no way to get to her. He tried with the rope, nothing happened.
My feet started to get really, really cold, and Sean kept saying, "Move your feet, keep moving your toes, keep moving your toes." And I remember at one point saying, "I'm going to lose my feet." And he said, "No, you're not." I said, "Yes, I am." I said, "I can barely move my toes." So then it took another half hour or so, 40 minutes for the helicopter to actually come. Everyone started yelling at me, like, it's coming, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. And then they came closer to me, and they opened the side door of the helicopter, and one of the guys reached down and they grabbed my arms, and because I couldn't really feel my feet all that much, I used my knee, and I actually hooked my knee on the runner of the helicopter, and they pulled me across the floor. I was so happy to have some kind of contact, and I just wrapped my arms around his leg the whole way to the hospital. The pilot actually came into the hospital to see us, and he had said, you were very lucky, because as soon as my weight came off that pan, the pan actually tilted. So if I had tried to get myself into shore, this could have been a whole different story. That night, I didn't sleep. But that one night of not sleeping rolled over into months of not sleeping. I went through really bad post-traumatic stress, actually, and I hid it for a very long time before I let anybody know what was happening. And
yeah, I remember you saying every time you closed your eyes, you felt like you see yourself trapped under ice or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what would happen. Like, the fear just overtook my life completely. Eventually, I did get in to see a counselor. It lasted for quite some time, but I just kind of learned to put it behind me. When we had the accident, I was a waitress, and the doctor said, no, you'll never be able to do this again. And even now, if I'm not careful, if I'm not wearing the right footwear, my feet can still bother me, but it has gotten better over time. My career kind of took a dramatic turn to the better, actually. I ended up going from working in customer service to working started as a disability employment counselor with the Canadian Paraplegic Association. I did that for about 8-9 years, and I loved it. Now, I'm actually working as a laborer here in Fort McMurray, working on the wetbacks and the hydrovacs, and I'm absolutely loving the outdoors and loving what I'm doing now. Pete and I have a really close relationship, and we kind of just got through it together. Never once did I ever feel that I couldn't go to him. We pushed ourselves to do better. And now we have a beautiful 4-year-old boy.
Jamie takes up a lot of our time. No, he will reach the age where it won't be cool to spend time with mommy and daddy, so we're taking advantage of as much time as we can.
Now, to look back on it, I just kind of shake my head at myself, like, what were you guys thinking? You know, when it comes to the spring of the year, I still feel a little worried, especially when I know, I got friends and family and they say they're going out on skidoo, and the first thing I'll say to them is, be careful. Don't go on any ice. Don't do what we did.
Okay, you ready to blow it?
I did suffer some post-traumatic stress, and I tried to hide it. That, I think, made it worse for me. Yeah.
No, there's no shame.
There's no shame in it. There's no shame
shame
whatsoever.
in seeking help.
Reach out to as many people as possible. Reach out to your family, your doctors. Don't keep it inside as long as I did.